Hi everyone, welcome to a Chandler's channel. I'm Tracy and I'm your host, and today is our monthly reading for June. Hooray! It's the month I was born in. So I can be happy, but I can also be sad because I'm 29 and holding now. But it doesn't matter, I like June. So let's touch back on the previous month of May, and then we'll get to June. So don't zoom through this, don't zoom, and don't take off on me. Stay right here. May, all that Whitehawk said is that it would be a very busy month, and indeed it was that. I have to say, I don't think I've stopped yet. I did take a day where I had no choice because I was just so exhausted. But it continues to be busy, and right through this weekend. I'm taping this on the Friday. So when you get this, you're going to get this. I might drop it on the Wednesday. So I'm taping this like a week ahead, let's say. Anyway, so I know going into the last weekend of May, let's put it that way, it's going to be still busy. So it hasn't ended. So I am very interested in seeing what Whitehawk has to say about June, and leave me a comment about how your May turned out. Maybe you had a great May. Maybe it's just certain pockets of the world where it's busy, or maybe it's everywhere. Because I don't know, isn't Australia, aren't they opposite to us? You know, your summer is kind of coming. No, our summer is coming. Your winter is arriving as well. So we're kind of opposite. So maybe your May is good. I don't know. You know, if we comment like that, then we get to know each other, and then the world's not as small a place. But I don't know if people don't leave comments. Okay, so let's go get Whitehawk and see what he has to say about June. And I heard June, June, I love June. And he says, indeed, June, is it not the month of the flower, child? And we're all kind of like, yeah, maybe, okay, sure, yeah. He goes, I assure you, children, it is the month of the flower, child. And we're all kind of scratching our heads as we listen to him. So again, we've kind of come, and he, whether we are sitting in a circle or he's standing in front of a bunch of us, we arrive all at the same location and listen to him. And the reason why we're all kind of scratching our heads is because the way he's said it, right? It is the month of the flower, child. So is he saying, it's the month of the flower, children? Or is he saying, it's the month of the flower, child? So we're all kind of like, And he says, indeed, he says, ancient Chinese secret, huh? He goes, you will ponder that one, he says, for the next month, I assure you, children, and I leave you with that riddle, he says, to work away on. A little bit of fun, he says, for the month of June. And we're all like, okay, and we're giggling with each other and whispering back and forth to each other. And he's like, now, children, shh, he says. He's like, pipe down, calm down, listen. He says, we have this month's reading yet to come. And when I look and see us, I feel like there's mainly children in the crowd. And mainly women, like girls. And I see the girls in white sundresses, beautiful, beautiful white, cotton dresses. And he says, yes, aren't they adorable? Don't you just love a child in a white dress, he says. And I'm like, yeah, I love little girls in little white dresses. And he's like, do not be afraid of what I say, my child. Do not be afraid. I am not a weirdo. Ah, dear. And he says, do you not like a child in a white dress? And I said, I love a child in a white dress. And he says, well then look, my child, says, look, my child, look at the vastness of them out there. So I look, and I don't really see many. I see one or two little girls talking in their white dresses, and then it's kind of like we're sitting on grass, not well-cured grass, so there's kind of dirt there too. And then there's the forest behind us with tall pines. And I guess these children's parents, and it looks like to be two men, and they're all dressed in white, like in a white shirt and white cotton pants. And they stand over to the side, and they're kind of just chatting away to each other, much in the way like, you know, fathers do at the sideline of a hockey game, or sideline of a soccer game, or even hockey, you know. And these other two children are listening intently to Whitehawk, right? At the same time giggling with each other and just having a good time. And he says, indeed, but do you not see the vastness, Tracy? I'm like, no. And then I hear in my head, what, the forest for the trees? I can't see the forest for the trees. He goes, perhaps. But I think not, my child. I think, he says, come. And he takes me and we walk. We walk past the children and we walk towards the forest now. And of course, as we're walking off the grass and towards the forest, the air starts to cool. It starts to get a little cooler as we move into the forest. And now we're in the forest, and there's a log, and a long log on the ground, and so we sit there. And he lights a campfire for whatever reason. And he says, my child, do you see the vastness yet? And I say, no. And I actually say, no, Father, I don't see the vastness yet. And again, he just sort of, and he just pokes away at the embers of the fire, and I'm looking around, like, you know, in the forest, and it's kind of dark, and it's chilly. It's not overly chilly, but hey, at least there's no mosquitoes. And but I don't see anything. I don't hear anything. I mean, I'm looking, I'm trying. And he says to me, after all I have shown you, after all I have taught you, after all you have learned, he says, you cannot see the forest for the trees, can you? And I go, I kind of shrug. Maybe, Papa, sorry. Like, I feel like I've somehow disappointed him, he says. Like, no, I say. Like, I feel like somehow I've disappointed him. I am not disappointed, child, he says. I am simply nervous for you. So I kind of ponder that. Because then that makes me nervous. You know, if he's nervous for me, I'm nervous for me. And he says, stand tall. So I stand up. And I have a nice little white spaghetti strap dress on, cotton dress. So I stand up tall. And he says, do you see it now? Do you feel it now? No, I feel nothing, Father, still. So he stands up, takes my hand, and we walk further into the forest on a well-worn footpath. And then I can see an opening at the end of the forest where I see the light coming through, and it looks like we're walking now out on, we're going to come to just like a grassy plain or a rolling hill of some sort. And so when we do arrive at the opening of the plains and the exiting of the forest, I do see the rolling plains, and I do see a castle at like further in the distance, and the castle is very much like one you would see in Disney, the Disney castle. and it has blue in it, and like from where I'm standing, it's like the light blue or the gray, and then the darker trimming of blue. He says, "Do you see it now?" And I say, "Well, Father, I see the castle in the distance." He says, "Ah, so you do see it now." I go, "Yes, I see it. Yes, okay, I see a castle. Come with me." So we walk, and we walk for days, up and down over these grassy plains of hills, right? I don't know, grassy plain and hills do they go? But anyways, they're grassy, and they're hills. They're gentle rolling hills. And I stop at one time, and I'm like, "Father, could I please sit and have some water?" And he says, yes, you may. And for some reason, there's a ladle that's put forth to my mouth, and it has water in it. Ladle, ladle, you call it what you want. And I drink from it, I sip from it. And I go, "How much further, Father?" And he goes, "A day or two, no more than that." So I get up and I journey with him. And now, for whatever reason, a donkey has appeared in the vision, and he has a blanket over his back, it looks very Mexican, the blanket. And he says, "Child, you are weary from your travels. Jump on." So I jump on, and I sit side saddle, and the little donkey travels with me. And finally, we arrive at the castle's door, and they're big brown wooden doors, as one would probably imagine. And they got big round, that's the handles. And I hear, I'm pretty sure it's Whitehawk, although I keep calling him Father. It could be Jesus, I'm not quite sure yet. And I hear, "La la, la la, let down your hair." You know in that Rapunzel, they say, "Oh, that's it, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." So then this big, long, golden trail of hair comes down, and then I'm helped onto this beautiful hair, and I climb up this hair, and I get to the top, and I'm pulled in, and it's like a lookout tower, right? And there's many windows around the tower, so you can see the great kingdom around you. And I look out, and I hear Whitehawk or Jesus say to me, because I'm not quite sure who it is, and it could even be somebody new, I'm not quite sure. And he says, "Child, do you see," he yells up to me from down there, he goes, "Child, do you see the vastness now?" And I look, and then at the same time I hear the song, "All we are saying is give peace a chance." So I'm looking, and I see all these people dressed in white and holding a candle and singing this song. It's just incredible the way they're all together and they're singing this song and they're holding a white candle. And I say, "Yes, Father," I yell down to him, "Yes, Father, I see it now." And he says, "Good. Then our journey," he says, "is complete. Our journey is complete then," he says. "I'll see you back at the ranch," he says, Enjoy the view from up there, he says. God bless, he says to everyone. It'll be a very special month for this little one, for our little one, he says. God bless. See you soon. And he leaves me up there watching these people sing, all dressed in white. It's very uplifting. It's nice. It's very nice. Thanks. I'd love to sit here, but I can't. I know I'm running out of time, so thank you. God bless. And we're over time. How am I going to get this uploaded? Okay, well, I'm going to hold on to this and hope that I'm going to have the time. So that is our June reading. Join us for our weekly reading and our topic of the week reading. And as always, I always say thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment, like, share. God bless for being here. It's very much appreciated. I'm Tracy for Chandler's channel. God bless.